So I would like to invite our next guest speaker, Mr. Arindam Dutta. Arindam ji, nice to see you again.
Same here, Abdul ji. How are you doing?
Yeah, all good. Welcome.
Yes,
Okay, nice to see you. Yeah, I'm very excited to listen to each speaker because they bring very vast experience from their experience and expertise. Okay, so now I would like to introduce Mr. Arindam Datta. The topic we are going to talk about is AI strategy for mid-size manufacturing and supply chain organizations. Arindam Datta is a distinguished board advisor, a digital transformation leader, and AI strategist with over 27 plus years of experience in digital IT transformation, having held senior roles in TCS, Gartner, Wellness Forever, and also the Insurance Information Bureau. He has guided organizations across industries in leveraging digital and AI business growth. He is also best-selling author of The 7 M's of Digital Transformation, recognized for his practical insights into successful digital transformation. Very eager, waiting to hear from you, Arindamji, your insights on AI strategy for mid-size manufacturing and supply chain organizations. Over to you, sir.
absolutely. Equal pleasure for me, sir, and thanks for choosing me to be here. It's a great topic. It's a topic which is being discussed. The more we discuss, the less it seems. And I'm sure at the end of our session also, and good part is I think we have couple of sessions on AI, so that's great. Um, what I'll do is I'll put up my presentation so that while I talk, I also talk through some of the thoughts put across in words and in some cases pictures. So I'll do that. Abdul ji, just let me know when the presentation is visible. I'll just put it up.
Yeah.
Is the presentation visible?
Not yet. I think it's coming up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah. Please go.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Audience, good day to all of you. Some of you may be in different parts of the world, so great catching up. So the topic which I was asked to pick up, very interesting, as I said, AI strategy for mid-size manufacturing and supply chain organizations. Honestly, I've had the fortune of traversing across industries, and every time, even today, I look across industries and see what tech is doing to the industries and vice versa, and especially the potential of things like AI. I'm left amazed. So, to be honest, while I'll touch upon mid-size manufacturing and supply chain for this discussion, I may also take the liberty of going into across industries and AI strategy in general, because it's such a vast topic. And also, my research, my observations tell me that it's equally beneficial and sometimes equally relevant across. So the questions are similar around on AI. Sometimes the answers are similar, and of course, the learnings, and that's most important, what we gain are bound to be similar and equally helpful to people around. So agenda, what I'll cover, I'll keep it crisp, and that's has been the trend of this confluence, as I heard from Abdul ji. So business context to start with, talking about some of the current challenges and opportunities. Why AI now? Of course, we are hearing about it, but are things that real? And how it can be a strategic differentiator for this segment when we are talking about mid-size manufacturing and supply chain orgs. uh, AI value realization pathway. This I'm sure some of you will find interesting. It's kind of me putting together some of what I've been observing, not only over the years but recently. So there's a brilliant question which a lot of you may be asking: where are we today in terms of the rest of the industry? So, this third section hopefully will give some answers, and I'm sure it will throw up even more questions. Then, foundational framework for AI led value. I think this is to sort of answer a question: where do we start? Okay, I know AI is good. I know AI can get me a lot of value, but where do I start? So that's where section 4 will sort of touch upon some evidence around, and I'll call out the case studies which I'm referring to and why they are there. And of course, no strategy is well thought of without keeping some of the risks in mind. So I'll touch upon those. So let's go on this journey of a little bit of discovery around AI strategy. My small attempt to share a few learnings. So the business context, if you observe, lots of clouds actually. I mean, to be honest, uh, wars have become order of the day almost, right? I mean, and that has tremendous impact on our industries, especially supply chain organizations know it very well. My friends in the manufacturing companies, I mean, talk about it. uh, so thin margins, lean teams, do more with less. I think a lot of you have been hearing that quite often. Costs are rising, traceability demands of ESG, and of course, talent pressure. You are always focusing on the next best talent to be in your team. Every time you think you've got there, you are fighting the next fire. You feel, oh, I've taken care of the last challenge, another bigger one seems to stick up its head. So ever reactive firefighting mode. And of course, if we look at things, siloed data, legacy systems, late decisions, that age old feeling that maybe we've just missed the bus. So all these are clouds, right? And these are challenges. I think most of us in the industries can relate to this. And there we have AI almost like a sun, bringing in the sunshine, and everyone talking about it. Artificial intelligence, I mean, not even the silver bullet. If I have to match the color here, the golden bullet, right? And so what does AI promise, or what are the opportunities we are really thinking about? So yes, AI does provide a silver lining: smarter forecasting. A lot of noisy demand and supply signals, AI can and has been helping in some cases to give some, as they say, method to the madness. So smarter forecasting. Connected operations, there is that gap between sensing and acting. So the ability to literally act, but at the same time sense it at the right time and decide at the right time, and across the value chain. So enabling connected operations, AI definitely provides a great opportunity to do that. Predict and prevent, spot failures, delays, risks, and take action before they hit hard. And as I take you through this, I'll refer a few cases where actually some good work is being done in defect detection and prevention, and lots of good benefits there. And this is what I'm most excited about mid-size organizations, and today's topic, mid-size supply chain and manufacturing organizations. To me, and I think many of you would agree, mid-size actually means agile. You are not too small so that every resource you have to really measure every bit of it. You can spend where it makes more sense or most sense. At the same time, sometimes you are not as uh, fixated in old methodologies as larger incumbents. So I would really ask all of us who are mid-size and into these industries to take it as a positive, because AI is definitely going to give us the advantage. With that, I'll move a little faster, but this was important to cover. So, post the business context, why AI now? I think the first sentence which I've put there should be pretty powerful, and I'll literally read it out to you. The world around you is moving already. So it's always interesting to say, oh, is AI really going to have the impact which everyone is talking about? Let's wait and watch. Let's look at, some very successful use cases which others come up, and let's judge it. That's a way to look at things, but let me tell you, the world is moving, and the choice we make or you make is now. It sets your base for the future. These are some predictions, and to be honest, as Abdulji mentioned, I've spent some significant time in Gartner, so it's quite very natural, although I've moved ahead, but for me to refer to a few of Gartner's predictions for 2030. The first one, that big number, is 53 billion US dollars. That, as per Gartner, is the supply chain agentic AI software market from around $2 billion in 2025. So, I needless to say, that's a huge jump. So, simply put, there are organizations across the world who are looking at leveraging agentic AI, for example, in supply chain. So uh, there isn't a reason to really fall behind. Similarly, 70% large scale organizations are expected to adopt AI based forecasting to predict demand by 2030. Big number again. 10%, the next one. The number may look a little low, but that's today at 2%. By 2030, 10% semi autonomous AI agents will orchestrate key production, quality, and maintenance of operations. That's quite a leap, I would say. Interesting, again, some a good survey was done across global supply chain leaders, and 88% of them have already implemented or plan to implement capabilities to automate interactions with machine customers. A very interesting term, of course. I won't devote the entire section for this discussion, but I think couple of thoughts on machine customers are important. What are machine customers? I think most of you know, but just to highlight, machine customers in some way are frankly what some of us are already becoming. Let us be honest to each other. These days, when we make any buy, even buying something from the stores or online, we have our own analytics, and there are a bunch of AI agents and so on, which are actually feeding in a lot of data feeds, reels, etc., determining what we buy. And that's not also totally irrelevant to even B2B customers. So what supply chain leaders are banking on is to make the most of it and sort of know how to leverage those capabilities. So, what is the present telling us? A lot also. It's not just 2030 we have to kind of wait and watch for. The present actually says that there is a huge wave of AI enabled applications. It's growing 56.5% CAGR. So what does this frankly fancy term infused ERP wave really imply? You have your ERPs, or you have your systems which for a long time have been called the systems of records. What quickly is happening is people are looking for systems of action, small AI agents or such tools sort of sitting on top or working with or embedded in the ERP and other systems of records to drive quick action. So that is what is happening. Scaling physical AI at the edge, so really on the shop floor, warehouse, that has accelerated. And people are really seeing some tangible gains with AI driving micro level efficiencies. And this is across the value chain, right? So, a very simple yet interesting example. There are cases today where AI is spotting small vibrations in a machine, and it's predicting the failure, and and it is ordering a part automatically. So it's getting to that level. Very interesting times going on, I would say, and more interesting times ahead. Moving ahead, I faced this question quite a lot of times, and I thought I'll just bring it up. Most of you know, understand, but sometimes we have to kind of distinguish or differentiate. A question becomes, we have had RPA, we have dashboards, we have chatbots. Now, what is this AI agentic AI coming up? So is it just a new name, or does it do something really different? I've tried to capture it. It's out there. So RPA, robotic process automation, as most of us know, it repeats stable rule-based setups at high throughput. But as we also have understood, it breaks when inputs change. It cannot handle ambiguity, right? It gets confused. Dashboard analytics, like all of us love some of our dashboards. We'll continue to look at them, but they show trends and exceptions. It leaves the diagnosis and the action to humans. Chatbot, we've had our fair share of chatbots. They answer questions, drafts contents. Some of our co-pilots also are doing a good job, but lacks durable memory and real decision capability. AI agentic workflow does these very important things, and let's note, observes, reasons, plans, acts through control tools, and escalates and logs. And this is also very important, within explicit limits. So agentic AI is there. It's a revolution, but it should not replace human judgment. It should literally compress the time between signal detection, diagnosis, recommended action, and governed execution. So that's where agentic AI is really becoming the differentiator. I was talking about the third section, the AI value realization pathway, and something which I've been observing. Of course, all of us are used to sort of maturity models, maturity paths. Is this a maturity model? I mean, I would be honest and say uh, the AI realm is so very developing and dynamic. I personally won't say it's really a maturity model. However, it does has the capability of becoming one. But what I also observe is there are certain clear observations, inferences which one can draw when one looks at the industry across. So as you see, most organizations, and I would sort of call it out that mostly our mid market or mid size supply chain and manufacturing organizations are somewhere here. So there is awareness on AI and agentic AI to an extent within parts of the organization, if not fully. There are some levels of usage, and mostly the usage is a good analysis, a good output in terms of a shiny PowerPoint deck, and somewhere it's moving in between. So people have the licenses. I won't mention the various names in the industry, but people have gotten the licenses, but really are looking for or trying to push for value led adoption, and really in the dilemma zone of how do we get there. Of course, there is a whole journey to traverse. One part is actually getting to the next level of reimagining or redesigning the workflow, actually to get the full potential of AI. If we do old stuff in old ways with new AI, it's not really going to work. So that's my take from whatever I've been seeing. Uh, of course, the real, as they say, bang for the buck, these days it's bang for the token, and the costs behind the tokens is if the maturity level really hits org wide synergy, so enterprise value. And of course, then there is this whole realm of governed scale, where the ultimate ambition is for the few and the brave. I think all of us in the audience who have something to do with this should be attempting there, but I think a way to go. But governed scale is very important, because we know that our favorite AI agents have this thing of going off track at times. But that's where the reality lies. A Forrester study says that there is a AI scaling deficit as of today. Only 26% of top global enterprises that they have surveyed consider themselves advanced in operationalizing AI. And when I say advanced, and when I really went through that research, it's somewhere here that most of them are pivoting around quite a way to go to enterprise levels, full scale. So a way to traverse. Very interesting, isn't it? So, after all of that, after almost hearing that even the biggies are kind of trying it out, trying to get there, uh, the question I think many of you would have in mind is, where do we start, right? Is there a way to even go about it, or we do we just say no, this is too big an animal to handle? My take, and as you see, is, as I've put, and some of the good research around is also saying that it starts small but go deep. So choose one specific domain problem to solve, literally one. Think business outcome first, what comes out, and be open to reimagine the entire workflow almost backwards. Uh, be open to designing stuff. Be even open to having AI sort of surprise you in a good way. But that's the way to look at it. Look at, when choosing cases and what to put AI for. uh, have AI undertake significant part of routine data intensive preparatory activities. Have your people look at interpretation, decision making, the whole judgment part I was speaking about in the previous couple of slides. This is very, very important. Fix your data, as they say. I mean, this is a very old saying, most of you have heard it, used it. GIGO, right? Garbage in, garbage out. So if we don't fix the data, we can just complain about, AI being just a shiny technology like any others that we have encountered in the past. So AI is only smart as the data it gets. Poor data creates poor results. Leverage your partner ecosystem. This is very interesting. I'm just calling it out. I mean, maybe obviously uh, I'm putting my neck out there, but you don't really need a giant in-house tech team. Like you don't need an army of all AI engineers. So look for partners having AI talent. The consulting team you have been working with or you have trust with, they are also bringing up folks big time. Evaluate domain specialized vendors. And this is very very important. Motivate your workforce to be AI savvy. Prepare your team to use AI. Encourage a culture of trying new things, and you will be yourself amazed at what your team can do. And I'm sure some of you are seeing some of that happening in front of your eyes. I'll move a little faster, just to respect the time. Now, I talked about how we go about it. This is sort of getting into the psyche of the agentic AI workflow, right? The AI that we build also learns. I mean, some of you, in fact, I know many of you are very savvy already and use your chat GPTs and Geminis and Claude and other AI agents. And you would realize that it seems to be learning very quickly, right? They almost talk to you as if it was your, next door neighbor or friend. So, how to help train your AI solution to deliver value? So, in our context, when we look at our manufacturing and supply chain industries and systems, teach your AI to learn to observe which signals from which systems really make most sense, and feed them into it and see what it kind of generates in terms of insights. Let it learn to reason over a business objective. So, service, margin, inventory, costs, risk. Very interestingly, in the previous session, the speaker beautifully articulated about profitability, right? So, if we give the AI agent that to mull over and look at our data, what does it do? What does it say? Learn to plan. Let the AI agent plan the next action or sequence of actions. Learn to act. Can it generate a help desk ticket, a draft PO? Can it approve certain transactions but within limits? Learn to escalate and log. Teach it confidence levels. This is okay to take a call, this is not okay to take a call, and policy threshold, and everything should be logged. So so that it can learn from it and we can help monitor. So, going back to what I said just a while back, humans retain judgment, the AI loop accelerates speed of accurate decision and action. Interesting, doesn't it sound that way? Let me move on to the next. So, is there evidence around? Of course, a lot of them. But if you see, I've chosen a few examples here, and if I'm not mistaken, a lot of you may say these are not mid size companies. Okay, don't kid us on that. Absolutely, I would agree with, I think, most of you or most of the logos or names here. But why have I still put them out here? Couple of reasons. One, I know a lot of good work is happening in the mid-sized companies itself, but I honestly felt that if I choose two and leave out two others, it won't leave a great taste, right? So I'll have to be a little fair out here. Second, and that's I think the more important point, if these big ones can do it, and remember I talked about mid-size being agility, there isn't a reason why some of this can't be done by many of us. And I'm sure, and I've seen also many of you are doing some of these, if not more. But I think it's important to do it regularly at scale and with the right business outcomes. But quickly touching upon a couple of these, maybe for the interest of time. Asian Paints, a favorite of many, and for me as well, to be honest. They implemented automated defect detection with image processing using AI vision. That detected over 15 paint related defect types with precision across a color palette of 2200 plus colors, with 93% AI model accuracy for that defect detection. And let me put a small perspective to it. I mean, these numbers still look okay. 15 paint related defect types. I mean, that's okay. That's good. But let me just share one statistic many of you know. Asian Paints, on a rough estimate, uh, they have a capacity of generating about 5.89 million liters of paint every day. I'll repeat that number: 5.89 million liters of paint every day. So, doing, implementing it at this level really speaks a lot. And it also says AI is working in some way. Other great examples, obviously, the details I can share offline. Some of you may know them firsthand. Merck's great global shipping giant saved over 300 million annually by deploying predictive AI models, improved vessel maintenance, fluent efficiency, and reduced routing delays. Again, big, they are huge. But the point is, again, these are replicable, these can be taken. And I think the speed of implementation has become faster with us, and so that's where we have a great journey ahead. I'll just move on to the last slide, I think, and take any questions if maybe there through Abdulji. Any strategy is not without risks, and as they say, fortune favors the brave. So we have to take some risks. But honestly, I put these down, and when I was putting across the potential impact, one part of me actually wanted to put some low risk, I mean, tag one of them as low risk, and I could not. I had to put all as high medium. I know some of you may actually debate and have a very nice friendly debate with me saying all of these are high. Okay, don't kid me on saying that any of these is medium, because we are kind of bearing the brunt of some of this. But long story short, I think where there is a will, there is a way. Where we want to go ahead and do innovative things and ride the wave which AI and agentic AI provides us, we have to take some risks, build in some mitigation. But that's where we have to look at. So this one I'll just touch upon and leave the rest. AI hallucinations, right? I think it's becoming better every day, but still there are places where AI can go off track. So having a human in the loop is very, very important on all critical decisions. And having drift alerts, interesting term, but as you understand, as they say, when a boat goes off track, it drifts. So when your favorite AI agent is going off track, we should get alerts immediately and do something good. So yes, I had a few more things, but that's okay. The team needs some guidance. They need to feel important, and they are. The teams are not going away, immediately. So human AI operating rhythm is the way to go. And of course, as I said, let's create differentiated value with AI. Thank you for the patient listening. And back to Abdulji, I think.
Yeah. I think you made the complicated topic much easy to for the audience to understand, Arindamji. I really like the last slide where you talk about the risks. I think that slides tell about AI journey, everything. Okay, so my just I would like to repeat two things. First and second one, which is the data silos, uh, where traditionally the digitization or digital transformations, whatever you call it, considered as an expense. Okay, so far, at least in India, at least I have visited at least 500 manufacturing units so far in different segments, different regions. So AI, IT technology is still an expense, but AI brings something which they long for. Now, how to do that is a question, because when you want to jump into the AI bandwagon to get the benefit, you need to have a digital readiness. Okay, the data architecture of complete organization is very critical. So the moment you start somewhere, and then it will become another silo. If you don't plan it very well, it will become another silo. That is very important. You touched that is a very high risk item, the top priority. And then the skill, as you said, it's a really challenge. Not the all organizations have the same kind of. There is no proper standard. Okay, in the technology, what kind of skill sets we need to have, just like any other domain and manufacturing quality. So you have a proper profile requirements, but when it comes to technology, it depends what is the technology you are using currently. If you are good at that, you consider that you are a good IT guy. Okay, so all these things, it will become a very important points. As you said, that risk slide is something which we have to follow. And then the maturity, uh, it is not like a just one heap from 0 to 100. It's a stage wise. Okay,
Correct.
so you explained very nicely that. Okay, so it's a very fragmented environment in India. Yes, organizations are catching up. So what is your advice to start the journey, how they need to start, and how can they take help? Okay, and how can they achieve, what is the timelines, what is your advice to the organizations, Arindam?
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you for summing it up brilliantly as well. And yes, the advice is, I'll reiterate a couple of the points which I made during the presentation. I think it's important to start. Whether to start or not is, I don't think, a consideration. Important to start, and I highlighted it in the framework which the foundational framework which I shared, is important to start with maybe one opportunity or so-called domain problem, which has is as they say, keeps the leader awake at night.
Hmm.
And go deep into it. It's not just creating a lot of shiny things around, like a kid in a candy store, and
Hmm.
leaving people sort of just jazzed by the fact that, oh, we are doing AI.
Hmm.
Okay, we have to get beyond that in some cases, and go deep into the opportunity or the problem, and reimagine. If AI helps us to do this, okay, what all can be done with its help,
Hmm.
right? And really challenge our thoughts, sometimes our inhibitions, and then move forward. Okay. Second, I think you touched upon a very important point of the skill, right?
Hmm.
And how to latch on to the right talent. Of course, we need some core skills, and as I mentioned, leveraging the partner ecosystem in terms of the right consulting organizations or tech organizations is also very important, because growing a huge team overnight, and that to an army of AI engineers, may not be the best thing. Okay. At the same time, I would really want to challenge the fact which erstwhile IT thought process had, that everyone has to be tech experts. I would rather promote, and that's what I've seen, and even in my book, I have referred to fusion teams, even talent from the business. Now with AI, they can go across that hump of so-called tech knowledge much faster. You really don't have to be a coder to now create a AI agentic engine. You can be a huge collaborator, even being from the business side. So the next mantra is create that fusion team who can work with one of your top problems, a problem which keeps you awake at night, and have AI do the magic. At the same time, govern it well, have your alerts and monitor it. Don't let it go all over the place.
Mhm.
See how it's panning out. And then when you are more than confident that it really is a game changer, deploy it. And then one success story will lead into the other.
I really liked it. I really like the way you explained this. You identify one major industry problem, which, if it is solved, you will be successful. Okay.
Absolutely,
So then
absolutely,
you drive backwards and you do whatever it takes. I think
absolutely.
that's a fantastic takeaway.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And each organization, I believe, have their unique, not only problem but opportunity. They have their
Opportunity.
own IP.
Mm,
Uh,
mm,
we
mm,
do this well. How can we do it like to
mm,
touch 20 organizations? Now we are touching. How can we touch 2,000?
mm, mm.
Yeah. So
Great, great.
yeah,
So we have a couple of questions.
sure.
Then we can. Bhaskar, I think good insights, Arindam sir. Any thoughts on various subcomponents of AI costs? Very interesting, especially viable way of token subscriptions for mid-size companies, please. I think this is very important. And the second question is, maybe you can take both. So, some thoughts on AI governance and data governance. So, what is the difference?
Excellent, excellent. Great question. So I'll take one after the other. Loaded questions. So very, very nice, very interesting. So thanks for asking those questions. Uh, Firstly, I think there are various components of the cost, as we all know. Um, the token cost, the license cost, the AI infra cost, these are all there, right? And so I'm not going into all the nitty-gritties of the cost here, but let me call out, and I think that's where the question has been asked. It is very important to really look through these costs and sort of do a projection as to what would it mean when it happens at scale, and what does it mean to really uh, look at the sort of the ROI on this. And these days, Abdul ji, I was hearing this term in a few conversations, very interesting. Someone was saying, no, it's not ROI, it's ROT, return on
Hmm.
tokens.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
the costs
Hmm.
on the tokens are becoming, they are hitting over the roof. So
Hmm.
people are very wary. And so much so, choosing the right business case is very, very important. Otherwise, what is gradually happening is you pick up something, and then when you try to bring it to scale, you see that the costs are overrunning your benefits. So someone just said it, and I would quote sort of shamelessly, it's like taking a Ferrari for your shopping run. You go to a shop and someone takes out a Ferrari. So so the
Mhm.
2 kilometers that you traverse, is it worth it? So I think that's how I would so look at all the costs, is I would say. The other I think the other interesting question was AI governance versus data governance. Of course, I think AI governance is uh, more an umbrella over data governance in the current context and what I'm covering in today's session. Data, as we spoke, and Abdulji, you kind of underlined it. That's very, very important. If the data is not right, and it's not governed, it will lead to garbage in, garbage out, and some dangerous garbage out in some cases. So I think that's important. But otherwise, AI governance also goes beyond data. I think one of the big areas to govern with regards to AI is the cyber and IP risk, cybersecurity and IP risk.
Mhm.
If
Mhm.
I think we noticed that was one of the key red items. Okay, we have to see that our IP stays where it is. The surface of attack that gets exposed if we are mindlessly implementing AI will become more of a challenge than an opportunity. So we have to look at that. Back to you, sir.
Yeah, great. AI is an umbrella of from the governance point of view, and the data
Absolutely.
is part of it actually.
Yep.
Good, good. So thank you, Arindam ji. It's wonderful insights, refreshing. Okay, so thank you very much. We have 1 hour 10 minutes remaining, and then we need to cover two topics. So thank you very
Brilliant.
much on behalf of participants. Very interesting session, and I would like to read your book sometime. Okay, so good luck to you. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you very
you,
much.
and thanks to the audience. Brilliant session, brilliantly organized, Abdulji, and I'm sure many of the audience will like to take these
Thank you.
things
Thank you,
forward.
sir.
So we'll connect. We'll connect offline. Yeah. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
evening,
If
everyone. Bye
anybody
bye.
would like to, yeah, if anybody any questions, please keep posting it. We'll make sure that they get answered. Thank you very
Absolutely.
much. Thank you.